So Dana White came out and talked about Marvin Vettori and said, and I quote, Marvin would be a great backup fighter for a world title fight sometime. That's all he said. I thought he was going to say for Adesanya, Whitaker. And the reason I wanted that for Marvin is that would solve a huge problem if Dana dropped the barrier that appears to be Marvin returning to a world title fight when Adesanya's got the strap. It's nearly impossible to get a match 3 when 1 and 2 went the same way. After their last contest that went all 5 rounds, I don't agree with that. I thought it was one hell of a close fight. I was pretty sure that Izzy won. And I remember being in the arena talking to people. Hey, Charlie. Hey, Ariel. Who'd you have there? You know, we're all talking. Oh, yeah, Izzy. But that was the consensus. Nobody thought Marvin, but they thought about it before they said Izzy. And I was the same way. Yeah, Izzy. Izzy 3-2. They announced it was like 5-0 Izzy, like he ran over Marvin Vettori. Okay, great, but that's still what we have to live with. So how do you retell that? How do you go out there for part 3? I mean, if part 3 wasn't hard enough, how do you do it when one guy won every single round? You guys will remember, before you think you have to correct me that it can be done, you're gonna remind me about the rematch between Masvidal and Usman, but I, of course, will have to remind you that that was a hardcore delight, and Masvidal took that, overweight, unlicensed, and on a different continent, 6 days notice. 6 days to weigh-ins. So that was a totally another deal, where even though he lost every single round, I'm talking about Masvidal here, Masvidal went 25 minutes while unprepared. He wasn't even prepared to weigh in, let alone to fight, let alone fight in a main event, let alone 25 minutes. So it was a very different story. And I thought that when if Dana wanted to set, he said for a title fight somewhere down the road, if Dana would have just right there, Bobby Knuckles versus Izzy, I think Marvin is a great replacement fighter for Bobby Knuckles and Izzy. If Dana would have ripped that wall down, this barrier, it would have just been a great thing for Marvin. It really would have been helpful. Even long-term, Marvin could have grabbed that. He could have spun it. He could have got some more media out of it. He could have accepted the role. He could have started telling his Izzy story. He could start talking about, man, I got screwed. They said I didn't win a round. He should have won a round. In all fairness, I thought he won a couple. And the 3 that Izzy won were freaking hard. They were hard rounds. You guys remember that fight? Adesanya kept getting on top. He not only was getting escapes when he got taken down, he was reversing the position and getting on top. I mean, he was stealing rounds with this one exchange. It's a damn good fight. Finding part 3, gonna be hard. Being a replacement, being a backup, making Dana name you that, knowing if you get in, you have a 50% shot against going against the very guy that I'm telling you there's this fictional barrier in front of, could have been very helpful for Team Marvin.